What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And, well, it just got interesting for General Motors as they are the next on the list to suspend production. But this is not of like a Trax or something that's like made in Korea, is a low priced vehicle, volume type of vehicle, right? Where the tariffs actually hurt. This is on one of their best-selling trucks, and we're talking about the Silverado and the GMC Sierra, which are both being manufactured in Sila. It's one L, so it's probably Sila, Mexico. And General Motors has idled that plant currently. I don't know if it's going to be a long suspension, but General Motors has said the suspension is due to current market conditions and tariffs. Basically saying, we don't want to pay that 30% for every one of those trucks we bring across the border. So they're upping the production in other facilities. I believe they build the Silverado as well in Indiana. I'm not sure. I'm not that much of a GM insider. But I saw this story come across late yesterday. Going into the evening, and I'd already done a bunch of videos. I was like, you know what, I'll cover this tomorrow. But look, man, I think we're going to see more of this, and General Motors is probably better positioned to make that change, because it's not for it's just the 1500s, right? It's literally the regular Silverado, and it's literally just a regular Silverado and their GMC Sierra. It's not like the 2500s or 3500s, which I'm sure they manufacture some of those down there too. But they have that ability to manufacture those here. They can add shifts. They can ramp up production here in the United States. Unlike Stellantis, who royally F themselves by moving all of their 2500 and 3500 production to Mexico. Luckily for Stellantis, their 1500 production is done at Sterling Heights Assembly Plant. So at least in that term, they're okay. Now, like I said, GM wasn't clear. They're just saying it's for a few weeks. So, if I'm doing, basic English math here with using the word few, so I'm thinking probably 3 to 5 weeks, maybe about a month. So what does that mean in the interim? Well, I don't know what their days of supply is for the Silverado or the GMC Sierra, but we could see some dealers, if they're selling, we could see some dealers have some shortages of these Silverado and GMC Sierras if General Motors isn't able to work something out. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm pretty sure somebody at GM will be in contact with the Trump administration, and they'll do whatever they got to do to get a waiver and say that they'll move, X amount of production back. Now, the funny thing is Ford tried to do that, right? They tried to negotiate with the Trump administration to get a waiver on vehicles built in Canada and Mexico by saying, we'll move some of that production to the U.S., but not all. And they tried to get a waiver on the ones coming from Mexico and Canada by only moving some. And the Trump administration said, no. So it wouldn't surprise me if General Motors tries the same tactic. Maybe they offer to move 70% of the production or whatever. I don't know how that's enforceable. I don't know if the Trump administration would have to be monitoring them and seeing if they actually are building that amount. But these are the type of games that the manufacturers are playing. And it all goes back to them not wanting to pay workers' salaries, period. And look, everybody's like, oh, TK is a pro, he's pro UAW guys. I'm not I work for myself, man. I work for myself. And when I do have contracts and I do have to hire people, depending on the state that I'm in, yeah, I've had to hire union guys in the past. And guess what? They do a great job. I don't have any issues with that. The problem is these manufacturers would rather pay the U.S. government 35% on vehicles coming in from Canada and 30% coming from Mexico rather than being in an actual American company and taking not even that 35 or 30%. It would be much less for them to just pay the U.S. worker, to just pay the damn U.S. worker and not pay the tariff and build the shit here. It's not rocket science. Not to mention sales that would go through the roof for them with the new tax credit. So there's a $15,000 tax credit if you buy American. And then the consumer can write up to $10,000 of the interest off of that vehicle. Like, manufacturers are bitching about they don't want to change prices or lower prices. I would be rushing hand over fist to move my production here, to be the first to say, my trucks are built in America by Americans. And that would be the damn ad. I'd have, I don't care. I know Mike Rowe has been doing Ford commercials, but I'm having Mike Rowe come in from Dirty Jobs. Maybe I get Dana to come back in and be like, F it. And drop the F-bomb in the commercial. I don't care. My trucks are made by Americans, built in America for Americans. Like, straight up. Straight up. And then between the consumers saving 25 grand off I don't have to adjust the prices on my vehicles at that point. Keep the prices what people are going to be happy. You're paying workers. There's so many benefits for them buying it. So yeah, let's say the truck, give you an example. V8 Tradesman right now is $53,000 is what I saw for a 2026 with a V8. So 53 grand is the number for a butt naked V8 2026 Ram. All right. You're taking 15,000 off of that. So now we're at 43. We're at 30, 39, 38,000 after the tax credit. And then you get to write off 10 grand in interest. So, if Stellantis Financial is hitting you at 9.9% or whatever it is, you get to write that shit off. You're getting a new, get it, it's an e-torque, but a new Hemi truck for 38, that's not bad. And it would be the same thing on the General Motors side. So I thought this was interesting. The manufacturers like GM and Ford and Stellantis are avoiding paying the workers. They don't want to pay the UAW workers. And unfortunately, they got to make a choice. Either they want to be in business and they want to sell trucks and they want to make money, or they want to go bankrupt. Because building all that shit overseas is not going to be any cheaper than you building it here. And they're going to keep fluctuating and moving the tariffs around until you guys wake the F up and bring the production back to America. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Our Tesla Model S giveaway is ending tomorrow at midnight. So we have today and tomorrow. If you're trying to jump in and win that Tesla Model S, you can do so. You definitely can do so by going to tksgarage.com or picking any of the merch that shows up under this video, like the hats or any of that stuff. And I don't know if they've put it up yet, but I believe there is a 30x entry item that's supposed to start on the last day. I don't know if it's up yet. I know that they said they were going to adjust the store and put them up there. So we'll see. And as of yesterday, and we're going to publish the numbers and show what I made off of us doing this. After, the car giveaway is done and the second place giveaway is done, it looks like, depending on what happens between today and tomorrow, we've made an $87 profit on that car. I'm happy. Look, I was cool when it was at like a $500 loss. I didn't care. I took the risk when we did it. I'm glad that it was successful, and it was only successful because of the 500 or so of you guys that jumped in, and that's it. That's how great of a chance is that somebody that watches these videos every day is going to win this car. There's 500, let me look. I shouldn't be doing this while I'm driving, but 513 people. 513 individual people. Now, what's crazy about that is that's 513 orders. Now, I know of at least 3 different people that have bought 8 to 10 orders. So there is a very good possibility that it's going to be somebody that we know and see in the comments every day that gets that car. And I'm ecstatic for it. I'm 100% ecstatic for it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.
For the longest time. Whoa. For the longest time.
Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet.